This video contains no spoilers or information concerning the Solo Leveling manga. I have not read the manga myself, and everything I talk about is my own predictions, theories, and thoughts based on the latest episodes. Something bad is about to happen. I can feel it. Everything has just been going too perfectly for Jinwoo. And even though the system has not only saved his life, but made it a million times better, I can't help but feel like the opposite is about to happen. In the latest episodes, we've seen Jinwoo not only defeat the Demon King, but far more importantly, save his mother. And to be honest, this is the main reason that I'm predicting things are really about to turn south for Jinwoo. Because so far, everything that Jinwoo's done, the monsters he's killed, the people he's murdered, and the quest he's fulfilled, have all been for his family. He does it all to provide for his sister, to heal his mother's sickness. But now Jinwoo's an S rank hunter. He has more than enough money to pay for his family's apartment and put his sister through medical school. He's also cured his mother's disease, practically reviving her from the dead. So the big problem now is what is there left to do? And obviously the show is pointing towards the next big obstacle for Jinwoo to overcome, being Jeju Island. But my real concern is why would he even go? Sure, there's a chance that he wants to go on his own volition, but so far nothing in Solo Leveling has painted Jinwoo as some bloodthirsty or war-loving patriot, at least not in my eyes. But even if he does decide to go on his own free will, the question still remains. Now that he has his family back and his life is pretty much perfect, why would he risk everything and leave the people he loves behind to continue fighting? And when I say continue fighting, I don't just mean Jeju Island. I mean, why would he continue progressing and getting stronger at all? At this point, all Jinwoo needs to do is complete a few A rank dungeons here and there with Jinho, and his family will literally be loaded for generations. So there's no real incentive in the story for Jinwoo to keep getting stronger. And I think the system is not going to like that. So far in the story, the system has been more of a benevolent figure than anything else. It's allowed Jinwoo to rise from pity into greatness, like a phoenix from a pile of ashes. But if we really think about it, the system doesn't just help Jinwoo get stronger, it forces him. The system gives him daily quests that, if he doesn't complete in time, literally forces him to fight giant monsters as punishment. And not only that, I find it really strange how the first key that Jinwoo gets just happens to be the one that leads to a dungeon with a potion to cure any illness. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that just seems a little too convenient. I know that a lot of people right now think that the system is sentient, and I wholeheartedly agree with that claim. But I want to take that claim a step further. I don't think the system is just sentient, I think it's manipulative. And the whole Demon King's castle just happening to have the solution to Jinwoo's greatest problem is proof of this. The system has been dangling the cure for Jinwoo's mother in front of him like a piece of cheese in front of a hamster, or a carrot in front of a Minecraft pig. That was dumb. But now that Jinwoo's finally gotten the bait he's been chasing all this time, there's nothing left to lure him forward. So logically, the only option that the system has left is to get some new bait. And if we want to find out what that bait will be, all we have to do is take a look at what is most important to Jinwoo. We know he's not interested in fame or copious amounts of money, but what Jinwoo is and always has been motivated by is the people he loves. That's why I think things are really about to get bad for Jinwoo. Because even though he has everything he wants right now, letting it stay like that would make him complacent, and I just don't think that's what the system wants. So, who's going to be the next bait for Jinwoo? Well, the only characters in the show so far that Jinwoo really seems to care about are his mom, his sister, Jinho, maybe Essel, and most recently, Cha Hae-in as well. While any of these characters can make good bait for Jinwoo, I think there's three that stand out as the most likely candidates. The first and least likely in my opinion is Jinwoo's mother once again. Even though she does seem to be back, she just doesn't seem healthy to me. And this is probably just me being a little paranoid, but I do have some suspicions that maybe she isn't fully healed. Maybe she'll fall back asleep or contract another illness specifically given to her by the system, which would in turn force Jinwoo back into the dungeons to get stronger and find the cure. But as I said, I think this is the least likely of the three options, so take it all with a grain of salt. But Jinwoo's sister, on the other hand, I think makes a lot more sense. She's the only character who's been a consistent source of support for Jinwoo throughout the entire story. So I think losing her or having to save her in some way could really fuel Jinwoo to otherworldly levels of strength, which seems to be exactly what the system wants. However, the character who I think would serve best as the bait for Jinwoo is without a doubt Cha Hyen. And I know that their relationship isn't even remotely as strong as Jinwoo's relationship with his family, but the show is obviously shifting towards that direction, even if we aren't there quite yet. I mean, we literally had an entire episode that was practically just Cha Hyen swooning over our boy. And I know some people might think that Cha Hyen wouldn't be good bait because she herself is an S rank. But the flashbacks to Jeju Island have shown us that there are monsters far more powerful than S ranks, and Jinwoo himself is proof of that. I think there's a multitude of ways this angle could play out that are all consistent with the current narrative. Cha Hyen could be Jinwoo's reason for joining the Jeju Island raid, or she could get captured during the raid and become the system's bait. She could even be seriously injured, forcing Jinwoo to rely on the system to save someone important to him once again. Whichever way solo leveling decides to take it or who they choose to use, I think that something really bad is about to happen to someone close to Jinwoo. Because as I said earlier, if things stay the way that they are now, Jinwoo could live the rest of his life happy and complacent. But unfortunately for him, I don't think that's what the system wants. And honestly, what's even more important than that is it doesn't allow for hype moments that are what solo leveling is all about. So, any way you look at it, I think Jinwoo's future is about to get a lot darker.